We are in the backyard of Dr. Lynn Brandenberger, who is our extension vegetable specialist. And Dr. Brandenberger, you've got quite a few cool season leafy greens growing here. Can you talk to us about them, please?
Well, I'm glad you asked the question. Yeah, leafy greens are a great set of crops to grow when it's cool. So actually we can start in mid to late August. Once that first front goes through, we can seed then and get them up and grow them. We can also grow them later in the fall and on clear through the winter. We can come back again in the spring if we want to.
Different types, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, so spinach, you started some spinach down here on the end. You started that in August of last season, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then you also just recently started some, and when were these started here? The smaller ones.
Most of the rest of them were direct seeded back in January, which is probably a little bit early, but you know, they eventually came up.
So you kind of have a succession crop growing here.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, so we can harvest our larger spinach and still get some of our baby. We truly are growing baby spinach here.
Yeah.
So what else do you have? You've got some collards and some Swiss chard, it looks like, as well?
Yeah, we've got, we also have some leaf lettuce.
The red.
Right down here with the red leaf lettuce. That was just too pretty not to bring home and stick in the garden.
I was going to say, with this red leaf lettuce, and then you've got the Swiss chard here with its colorful stems. Is there a favorite of yours, or what do you like to do with all of this?
Well, you could, except for the lettuce, we could cook all of it. And a lot of times it's a great idea as far as nutritional wise to mix greens because they don't all have the same levels of nutrients. So like spinach might have a lot of, say, calcium, but it doesn't have as much iron as something else. So you substitute or bring in another crop, throw it in there in the pot, and then you bring that level of that nutrient up that the other crop might have been a little low on. So.
And how do we find out about the nutrition levels of different crops that we might have?
Well, actually USDA has a website that you can go to that lists all the nutrient levels of a lot of different things. I mean, you can look up Twinkies, you can look up spinach, you can look up all these different crops and find out what levels of nutrients, in other words, vitamins and minerals that they would have.
Oh, very good. So you've got your collards here too, which are a little bit of a lighter colored green with a white stem to them. So the nice thing about all of your leafy greens here is they look pretty healthy. You don't have too many pest problems with cool season crops.
A lot of the pests that we have trouble with in the summer garden, we don't have so much trouble with in the winter garden. So we don't have a lot of grasshoppers, you know, things like that. A lot of the chewing insects, except for we can have cabbage looper, which just loves collard and pak choi and that brassica group. And we might have some aphid issues.
Okay.
To be honest with you, we have not sprayed anything this year at all.
Oh, okay. Fantastic.
So we haven't even put out BT.
All right, which is an organic bacteria that controls cabbage loopers, right, exactly. So Dr. Brandenberger, would you say that cool season crops are a little bit easier to grow than warm season crops?
Well, we talked a little bit about the pests, and there seem to be fewer pests that we have to deal with. But the nice thing about leafy crops is we're just growing leaf tissue. So we do not have to get it to flower. We don't have to get it to set fruit or mature the fruit. We're just growing leaf tissue. So it's a lot less problematic. We have a lot fewer problems with it.
All right. So one of my questions is a lot of these are some of the leafy greens that you can just harvest the leaves as you want them. Pak choi is one that maybe some people aren't familiar with. What's the way you go about harvesting that? Do you eat it as a leafy green, or do you eat it as like maybe a head lettuce?
You could eat it any way you want. Normally what you do with pak choi though is you cut just under the base of the plant. So you take the entire plant at once. Okay. And then it can be sliced up and stir-fried. You could use it in salads. You could boil it like you would any other greens crop.
All right.
So it has quite a bit of nutrients in it, so it's a good one.
Definitely add that to your salad mix and enjoy. Dr. Brandenberger, thank you for inviting us to your backyard to see your cool season crop.
Well, we're glad you came today and hope you'll come back another time.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.